going, everybody? This is your homeboy, 7th on the floor. If you have not noticed, I've cleaned house, and it's always good to keep your house clean no matter what. 'Cause like I said, you never know when you're going to end up having company over. You never know who's going to barge in. You just never know. I did something different on my workout tonight. I did legs. I hadn't done legs for a while. I normally don't hit the lower part. I usually hit the upper part. And I'll tell you what. Towards the end of my workout, I was actually starting to feel the burn. And what I did, I was doing calf raises. I was doing squats. I was doing. It kind of looks like a caprielli lunge movement. I can't remember the name of the movement. You know how they kind of like swing their they step to the side and they like bring their other leg back, and then I think it's called the Jinka. I'm not really familiar with Capriella. I've seen it in Tekken video games. I've seen it in all their games, and I've always wanted to learn it, but I never really took the notion to learn the system itself. But I remember that movement, and I incorporated it into my workout. So I tell you what, if you do that little movement, the Jinga move, it'll put fire in your legs. Trust me. And there was one side of my leg, on my left leg, since I hadn't worked muscles like that a long time ago, I was actually starting to feel a little bit of burn in my left leg around my hip. And I think all at the same time, it was working the hip, working the front hip, and working the flexibility and mobility of it. And then I decided, well, I'm gonna do the ab wheel after that, work the core. Since I am doing core training. But before that, I did a heavy bag workout, worked on some new combinations on boxing. And then after I did my calisthenics, I used my hand wrap as the rope, for like practicing my head dodging movements for boxing. So it's like now I can, get moved, like practicing moving my head around more, using that as my external game into my boxing. Because pretty soon I might actually have somebody spar in boxing. I just gotta talk. He's always wanting to spar me, test me out, and see what I'm about. He's an ex-Marine, but I don't know if he's really kept up with his combat experience as he says he is. But I'm gonna see on where he's at, and go from there. And usually 9 out of 10, usually when I train with somebody, I kind of feel them out. I don't really, go all out at first, and then, because I kind of take it easy on. And that's the thing with me when I spar people for the first time. I feel them out. I don't, go hard on them. I don't go all out on them. I feel them out at first. See what they're capable of. And once I see on what they're capable of, then I go in for the kill the next time. So when you train, you gotta have that mindset. You're not really trying to hurt your opponent, but imagine it like it was a real fight. And that's what my sensei always told me. He said you're not really trying to hurt your opponent. It's just practicing your skill, but you gotta imagine that it's a real fight too. You like they're defending their life when sparring. So when he said that to me, so that's what I always did. And anytime when I spar, I would always, since I like kung fu movies, I would always imagine that I'm in a kung fu movie when I'm sparring somebody, and imagining that I'm the hero in the movie trying to save somebody. So I guess that's how I usually do pretty good, is because I'm imagining in that scenery. So when it comes to training and stuff, training's going good. I think I might have put on a little bit of weight, but I don't really care. It's probably just muscle size. But other than that, work's been going good. Been trying to stay positive, trying to stay uplifting and everything else. But other than that, I've just been reading, watching movies, playing a little Xbox, working out. I still get my working out game on. Every day, man. 2 days off, 5 days a week. Most people do it like every day. That's crucial on the body. Some people are just used to it, but the way I see it, if you don't let your body rest, you're gonna end up tearing something down, tearing something up. I don't care who you are. You're not an alien from another planet. You're not an alien from another planet. You're not a Saiyan off Dragon Ball Z. You're not a superhero out of a comic. And most YouTubers I see, they try to indicate people off of animation, and they try to tendency to push themselves too hard to be that person on their favorite TV show or their favorite actor, and it's like they end up, overexerting themselves, for what, and then they want to make a video the next day saying, oh, they're complaining that they're hurting and all of that. Who cares? If you're hurting, you put yourself through that. It's like, that's the thing. If you're working out, and you tendency to overdo it, I know there ain't no such thing as overdo it, but if you work at it every day and you overtrain every day, you put in an extra hour of work every day, and then all of a sudden, bam, you hurt yourself. And then you post your videos online that you hurt yourself, you do your workouts, and then you make a video that you complain that you hurt yourself, and who cares? I shouldn't be that way because I posted a video about my ankle, but I was letting everybody know, what's going on, how long I'm going to be out on training and stuff, and it's just that, my ankle still kind of gives me problems, but, I don't let it really try to bother me too much. Only reason why my ankle does give me problems right now is because right now it's cold, and the weather climate has been kind of changing rapidly around where I live at. So it's just basically arthritis, I think, from all the surgeries I've had on it. But do I let it get in the way of my workouts? No, I don't. I just take ibuprofen if it starts to hurt, and then gets rid of the pain, and then the inflammation, and all that, and then I just go to town. So, is overtraining really worth it? When it comes to learning how to fight. Unless if you want to go for pro, be a pro fighter and be a champion of the world, or a champion in your weight division, then I would say overtraining would be beneficial. But really, technically, most of these fighters, professional fighters, they don't train 8 hours a day as the TV claims them to be doing. When they have a fight coming up, they probably train 3 hours a day, and then the rest of the day they stay. And the rest of the day they stay active. So, when you want to call it overtraining, it ain't really overtraining, you're just pushing yourself. Well, when you push yourself too much, you're going to end up hurting yourself. And to me, my instructor always say, go at your own pace, don't overtrain. And, if you want to be great, eventually you'll work up the hours, the mobility of the strength that you're trying to get at, and the skill level you're trying to get at. You're not really a professional. You're not really a professional yet. And so I just took his advice on that situation. So, if you're trying to think that you're an animation character off of a movie or off a cartoon, don't get me wrong. I love Japanese animation. I love Japanese animation. I like Dragon Ball Z. I like dudes just bashing their heads out, shooting power beams, powering up to over 9,000, and stuff like that, or 1,000,000. Or I like Kenichi, with the Midas Disciple, what's another one? Full Metal Alchemist, that's a good one. Gundam Wing, that's another good one. Yu Yu Yakusha, I think. Inuyasha, that's another one. Yeah, it's just, it is what it is. I like Japanese animation. But do I try to train myself to be like them? No, I don't. I think reality stuff. I do what reality. I draw animation. Don't get me wrong. I draw animation. I draw cartoons. Do you think I'm a kid because I draw cartoons? No. That's just my passion. But I don't get that to the fact that it takes over my brain where, okay, I'm this character, I'm on a train like him and I never get hurt. Well, yeah, eventually you'll end up getting hurt if you keep trying to think you're one of those guys off of a damn cartoon character. So yeah, you can train your body to get like them, but don't like try to kill yourself while you're doing it. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I've done that so many times. I've always tried to be like Bruce Lee. I've always tried to be like Chuck Norris. You know, Sylvester Stallone off Rocky Balboa. Um, Wesley Snipes, that's Blade. Tom Cruise in The Last Samurais. Jet Li, and all the great actors. I mean, I've always tried to be like them in the movies. Training, going through the rigorous training, and I always end up hurting myself. And I always ask myself, you know, is it really worth it putting in the long hours? Trying to overexert myself and training and being in pain the next for weeks and months, and then turn turn around after it's fully healed and get back at it again. You lose all your gains, and then it's not really worth it. To really push yourself that hard. A lot of people don't do that because they don't have the time or whatever. So it's like me. I work a 40-hour work week job, so it's like me. If I get an hour and 30 minutes in, or even an hour and 10 minutes in, and I'm patting myself on the back. Pat myself on that back because if I can get something in, just for that long, I'm still doing pretty good in my craft. I mean, when I used to compete, I tell you what, I competed hardcore. And when I was competing, and I trained hardcore, and I took my training serious. I still take my training serious to this day because you never know. I might later on down the road, maybe join a school if I can find one that's suitable for me. But then start competing again because I kind of miss that lifestyle. But in a way, I really don't like competing that much because all it is, competing is just showmanship. That's all it is, and they have rules and everything else. And me, I'm not a rule person. I don't like to go by the rules when it comes to competition. So that's another reason why I don't really compete anymore. Because every year they always change the rules up, and then they say you gotta buy this equipment, you gotta buy that, you gotta have insurance, be able to compete and stuff. And it's just like, is it really worth it? No, it's not. Only thing beneficial is that you learn from different fighters in your class rank, and they don't go by weight division, they go by belts, and half the time they don't even go by belts anymore. Then, usually sometimes they'll compare a red belt with like a yellow belt, which that shouldn't be right. They should, the way I see it, they should compare a red belt with his ranking. The last tournament I went to, I sparred somebody that was a yellow belt, and I was a red belt, and he beat me by 1 point. It was. It was a close draw. I learned from my experience. He was a taller opponent, and I'm not really good on tall people. He's probably about like 7 foot tall, something like that. He was tall, but he had a more a little longer reach than I did. But they shouldn't have put me up with the yellow belt, which It is what it is. It's in the past. I win some and I lose some. It don't matter on what rank you are. It's just how you learn from the experience. That's what learning is. It's just learning from experience on your craft and plus the stuff that you do in life in general itself. So, like I said, is overtraining a good thing or a bad thing? Depends on you. How much of you do of it. You do need to give your body rest. Recovery days and stuff like that. Um, Especially it gives your mind unwind. Um, and I do know what I'm talking about because I've been trained by the best. I've been trained from other fighters. I trained, man, I got coached by other fighters around the world. I don't know them personally, but I've had asked them questions on their videos online, but and plus I've had I had a coach from Hungary came over here and trained me in his style of full contact kickboxing. So yeah, I've trained with tough fighters, and so and I mostly freestyle. I didn't really um, learn like a true background in martial arts. I mean, I was just a freestyle fighter. So to me, if you want to call styles a style or whatever in martial arts, then all the same, all it is the same is it's just fighting. That's all it is. It's just fighting. There is no ins and buts about it. There is no style. They're all the same. It's meant to, do the other person harm. It's meant to protect yourself, do bodily damage. So when it comes to martial arts, it's just all the same. Period. And I don't care who you are, what you are about. And if you think martial arts is nothing, you think it's baloney, and you think it's bullcrap and all that, well, you're wrong. I'm sorry, you're wrong. So, do your research, have fun, train hard, train smart, stay active, be healthy, don't do drugs, don't smoke, don't drink. So, if you want to stay healthy, have a good mindset. So, 7 down 4, signing out, and God bless you, and have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.